Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Zodiac Secrets in Tarot.com. In this episode of the Lady Magnate's Magic Podcast, we're diving deep into energies. Grab your favorite cup of antioxidants, whether it's green tea, coffee, or red wine, and join us for this insightful exploration. The mysterious energies of the universe, a spiritual and scientific exploration. Across cultures and ages, people have sensed that invisible energies flow through the world around us. Many speak of a life force that animates living beings, a cosmic energy that connects the stars to our souls, or subtle currents passing between hearts and minds. Modern science, for its part, explores an energetic universe of quantum fields and vibrations. In this article, we embark on a journey through these mysterious energies, blending metaphysical wisdom with scientific insight. From the life force within us to the cosmic dance of planets, from telepathic bonds to glowing auras, we'll discover how spiritual traditions and science each illuminate the unseen connections in our universe. Life force and cosmic energy, the energies of the universe. Every tradition has a name for the vital energy that pervades the universe and gives life. In ancient India, it's called Prana. In China, it's Qi. In Japan, Ki. And in Hawaii, Mana. Many Western spiritual paths refer to it simply as spirit or life force. Despite different names, these ideas share a common theme. There is a fundamental energy flowing through all things, from the farthest star down to our very breath. Spiritual perspectives. In Eastern mysticism, this life force energy is central. Yoga and Ayurveda teach that prana circulates through invisible channels in the body, enlivening mind and body. Traditional Chinese medicine similarly works to balance qi along meridians for health and harmony. Indigenous cultures often speak of a great spirit or energy in nature. For example, some Native American traditions honor the Great Spirit connecting all living beings. These perspectives portray the universe as teeming with energy and consciousness, a web of life held together by spiritual force. Many meditation and healing practices aim to tap into this ubiquitous energy. Breathing exercises, Qigong movements, Reiki healing touch, and shamanic rituals all seek to channel the universal life force for well-being and insight. Scientific perspectives. Modern physics confirms that at a fundamental level, everything is energy. Matter itself is essentially frozen energy, as Einstein showed with E equals mc squared, and empty space isn't truly empty. It seethes with quantum fields and particles popping in and out of existence. Scientists speak of fields like the electromagnetic field, which carries light and radio waves, and more abstract quantum fields for every type of particle. Even a vacuum contains a baseline buzz of energy, called zero-point energy. In essence, the universe is an energetic ocean. Some thinkers draw parallels between this scientific view and spiritual ideas. The quantum field that underlies reality sounds a lot like a modern version of the ancient cosmic energy. While science doesn't define this energy as conscious or life-giving, it does show that an invisible energy framework pervades everything. It's fascinating that, in their own ways, both mystics and scientists describe a universe made of energy. Spiritual seekers might say this is the light of the divine or the vibration of the cosmos, and scientists might call it a quantum field or dark energy. Both agree that what we see as solid matter is, at a deeper level, dynamic and interconnected. Many people find that science and spirituality here are complementary. Scientific discovery can inspire spiritual awe at the cosmos, and spiritual practices can give a personal, felt sense of connection to the energy of the universe. Whether through prayer under the stars or contemplating astrophysics, we come to sense that we are part of something vast and energetic. Telepathy and thought energy. Invisible connections between people. Have you ever thought of a friend just before they called, or sensed someone's mood without a word being said? These everyday mysteries hint at the idea that energy flows between people beyond the five senses. Spiritual traditions long have held that our thoughts and emotions are not confined to our own minds. They are forms of energy that can ripple out and touch others. In this view, human consciousness is interconnected like a network, allowing for phenomena like telepathy, empathy, and intuitive knowing. Telepathy and thought transmission. Telepathy is the supposed ability to communicate mind to mind, sending thoughts or images without speaking. While mainstream science has yet to conclusively prove telepathy, it remains a popular subject of parapsychology research and countless anecdotal stories. Many people have experienced a form of spontaneous telepathy. For example, twins reporting they share thoughts or emotions across distance, or suddenly just knowing something has happened to a loved one. From a spiritual perspective, telepathy is often explained as tuning into another person's energy or into a collective mind. Mystics in various cultures, from yogis in India to shamans in indigenous tribes, have claimed that in deep meditation or trance they can project their consciousness across great distances. This silent language of the mind suggests that thought might be a subtle energy with its own way of traveling, much like an invisible radio signal between brains. Emotional resonance and spiritual connection. Even more common than telepathy is the powerful energy of emotions that passes between people. We often say we pick up good vibes or bad vibes from someone, essentially describing an emotional energy field we can feel. Have you noticed how one person's enthusiasm can uplift a whole group, or how being around someone anxious can make you feel tense? Psychologists might attribute this to subconscious cues and mirror neurons, but spiritual thinkers add that our auras and heart energies are interacting. The concept of emotional resonance means our emotional energy can sync up with others. For example, group meditations or prayer circles often report a shared feeling of peace and unity, as if individual energies merge into one calm wave. Some researchers have even explored whether the heart's electromagnetic field, which is measurable a few feet from the body, could play a role in subtle heart-to-heart communication. Beyond individual cases, many spiritual traditions propose that on a soul level all humans, even all living beings, are interconnected. This idea is sometimes called the collective consciousness or universal mind. It implies that compassion, prayer, or intention directed towards someone far away might reach them through this network of energy. Indeed, practices like distance healing and intercessory prayer are based on sending positive energy or thoughts to influence someone else's well-being. While the mechanisms are mysterious, millions of people around the world regularly participate in such practices, suggesting a deep intuitive belief that mind and spirit can transcend physical distance. Whether through a comforting feeling that you're not alone, or the uncanny alignment of thoughts among close friends, the energy between people hints at a profound spiritual connectivity that science is only beginning to explore. Astrology, cosmic influences, and celestial energy. For thousands of years, human beings have looked up at the stars and planets and felt a meaningful connection. Astrology is the ancient practice of observing the positions and movements of celestial bodies to understand their energetic influence on human lives and events. From Babylon and Vedic India to Greece, China, and the Americas, virtually every culture developed some form of astrology or star wisdom. While dismissed by modern astronomy as superstition, astrology persists in popular culture and spiritual circles, offering a symbolic language to relate the cosmos to our personal experience. Traditional astrological perspectives. In astrology, the celestial bodies are believed to emit or reflect energies that can affect us. The sun, moon, planets, and stars each carry archetypal qualities. For example, traditional Western astrology assigns the sun an energy of vitality, identity, and creative life force. Fittingly, the sun sustains life on Earth with its energy. The moon an energy of emotions, intuition, and cycles, as the moon's phases and tides have a cyclical rhythm, influencing nature and, some say, our moods. Mars carries assertive, passionate energy. Think of it as a warrior vibe, whereas Venus emanates a gentle, love, and harmony energy. Jupiter is expansive and luck-bringing, and Saturn is heavy, teaching lessons of discipline. At the moment of each person's birth, astrologers draw a chart of where all these bodies were in the sky. This birth chart is said to be like an energetic fingerprint, imprinting certain tendencies and challenges. A person born under Mars, if Mars was prominent in their chart, might be energetic or headstrong, for instance. Beyond personality, astrology traditionally was used to select auspicious times for actions, letting the energy of the planets help an endeavor succeed, and to predict cycles of opportunity or difficulty. In Vedic astrology, the ancient Indian system, the planets are even seen as karmic agents, each representing deities or cosmic forces that help guide the soul's evolution. Similarly, Chinese astrology associates birth years with zodiac animals and elements, reflecting an energetic cycle that influences one's destiny. Modern interpretations of astrology. Today, many people approach astrology more as a tool for self-reflection than a strict faith. Rather than literal gravitational forces, which science tells us are negligible from distant planets, the influence of planets is viewed as symbolic or synchronistic. Psychologist Carl Jung suggested that astrology works through synchronicity, meaningful coincidences between cosmic events and human events, as if both are reflecting an underlying order. In this view, reading an astrology chart is like reading a cosmic mirror, revealing inner psychological dynamics. For example, a challenging alignment of planets might correspond not to the planets beaming energy at you, but to an inner period of growth and tension in your life's journey. Many modern astrologers emphasize free will and personal growth. The stars incline, but do not compel. If Mars energy is strong for you, it could manifest as constructive courage or, if unchecked, as anger. The choice can be yours. Interestingly, even though mainstream science doesn't recognize astrological forces, there are subtle ways celestial bodies do affect Earth. The moon's gravity causes ocean tides. Solar flares from the sun can disrupt Earth's magnetic field. And some sensitive people claim to feel these disturbances. We all know the sun's energy sets our circadian rhythms, and seasons, caused by Earth's tilt toward the sun, can influence mood. So one could say celestial bodies certainly affect us physically, and astrologers extend that idea into the spiritual and emotional realms. Ultimately, astrology's enduring popularity might stem from a deep human intuition that we are part of a larger cosmic story. The movements of the heavens create an energetic tapestry in which our lives are woven, a reminder that as we navigate our personal paths, we are dancing in step with the stars. Divination tools and spiritual energy fields. In addition to observing the skies, people throughout history have sought guidance by tapping into unseen energies through divination tools. Practices like reading tarot cards, casting runes, or using a pendulum are methods of gaining insight from the spiritual energy field around us. To a skeptic, these might seem like random games of chance, but to practitioners, divination tools are powerful ways to focus the mind and connect with intuition or higher guidance. They are believed to work by aligning with subtle energies, perhaps the energies of the person asking the question, spiritual guides, or the collective unconscious, to reveal information that the logical mind alone might not access. Tarot cards. Tarot is a deck of 78 cards filled with rich symbolism, archetypal images like the sun, the moon, the lovers, death, transformation, and so on. In a tarot reading, a person draws cards in a spread after concentrating on a question or situation. The fascinating aspect is how often the drawn cards seem uncannily relevant to the person's life. From a spiritual perspective, this is not mere coincidence, but the result of energy and intention. The belief is that your thoughts and the vibrations of your psyche influence the shuffle and selection of the cards. Through synchronicity, your energy attracts the cards that are meant for you. Thus, the tarot acts as a mirror to your subconscious mind or the spiritual currents around you. Each card carries an energetic message. For example, drawing the star might indicate a hopeful, healing energy in your field, while drawing the tower could suggest a disruptive energy or needed breakthrough. Readers interpret these symbols, often finding that the cards confirm things the person felt intuitively but couldn't articulate. In essence, tarot is thought to tap into a spiritual information field, be it one's higher self, spirit guides, or simply the wisdom of archetypes, to provide guidance and clarity. Runes and other oracles. Runes are another ancient divination method, originating with the Norse and Germanic peoples. Runes are letters of an old alphabet, each with a name and meaning, such as Fehu for abundance or Algiz for protection. To use runes, one might cast a set of small stones or pieces engraved with rune symbols and read the way they fall, or draw a few runes from a pouch at random. Similar to tarot, the act of casting or drawing is done with focused intent, and the resulting symbols are seen as meaningful messages rather than chance. In Norse mythology, the god Odin gained wisdom of the runes through a deep spiritual ordeal, suggesting runes carry sacred energy. Today, people use them to gain insight into problems or to meditate on the guidance the runes' energy provides. Beyond runes and tarot, nearly every culture has its own oracles. The Chinese I Ching, Book of Changes, uses coin tosses and patterns to deliver wisdom, and West African divination might involve tossing cowrie shells. Despite different forms, the underlying concept is the same. By appealing to the universe through a random but focused process, the universe answers with a sign. Practitioners believe there is an energetic resonance between the question and the outcome of the divination tool. Pendulums. A pendulum, often a small weight or crystal on a chain, is one of the simplest divination tools. The user holds it and asks yes/no questions. The pendulum is allowed to swing freely and its direction or pattern, for instance, circular motion for yes and straight line for no, is interpreted as the answer. How could a swinging object give answers? The explanation often given is that the person's subconscious mind influences tiny muscle movements in the hand, the ideomotor effect. Essentially, your intuition is moving the pendulum. On a spiritual level, people believe that their higher self or spirit guides use the pendulum as a tool to communicate, causing it to swing with messages. The pendulum is also used in energy healing practices to detect imbalances. For example, holding it over the body to sense the energy of chakras if it swings weakly or erratically over one area. Some healers interpret that as a blockage in that energy center. Thus, pendulums are seen as extensions of our energy field, amplifying subtle signals that normally go unnoticed. Whether it's shuffling cards, casting lots, or gazing into a crystal ball, divination practices work on the premise that we are surrounded by an intelligent field of spiritual energy that responds to our queries. By entering a focused, sacred space with a tool, we tune our consciousness to that field. The random seeming results become meaningful answers, as if the universe is speaking in symbols. Even for those who approach it more psychologically, divination can unlock intuition. The symbols drawn often trigger insights from our own deep mind. In all cases, these tools remind us that not all knowledge comes from linear thinking. Some understanding arises from engaging the mystical, energetic currents of life and trusting the messages that emerge. Quantum physics, consciousness, and quantum leaps of spirit. In recent times, the language of quantum physics has entered the conversation about spirituality and consciousness. Quantum physics is the branch of science that studies the smallest scales of energy and matter, and it has revealed a world that defies common sense. Particles that are also waves, things that can be in many states at once until observed, and distant particles that seem mysteriously linked, quantum entanglement. To many, these strange discoveries sound like something out of Eastern mysticism. This has given rise to a field often called quantum spirituality or quantum consciousness, exploring how quantum ideas might intersect with the nature of mind, free will, and spiritual phenomena. The observer effect and consciousness. One of the famous tenets of quantum mechanics is that the act of observation affects the outcome. In the classic double-slit experiment, for instance, subatomic particles create an interference pattern as waves when not observed, but behave like particles when a measurement is made. Some interpretations of this phenomenon suggest that consciousness is integral to how reality unfolds, essentially that the mind collapses the wave of possibilities into a concrete event. While physicists debate what this really means, is it consciousness or just the measuring device that matters? Many spiritual thinkers have seized on the metaphor. They propose that just as an observer can influence a quantum experiment, our intentions and thoughts might influence reality on a subtle level. This idea resonates with age-old beliefs about mind over matter, from prayer influencing outcomes to the law of attraction. The popular notion that positive thoughts manifest positive events. The quantum observer effect lends a kind of scientific-flavored support to the empowering idea that we participate in the creation of our reality. Quantum interconnectedness. Another intriguing aspect of quantum physics is that it paints a picture of profound interconnectedness. Entangled particles can affect each other instantly across vast distances, which hints that space might not be a barrier at the deepest level of reality. Some have likened this to the spiritual concept that all is one, that the separation we perceive is an illusion, and everything is unified in consciousness. If two electrons can be mysteriously linked no matter how far apart, perhaps our minds and the universe are similarly entangled. This has led to musings that phenomena like telepathy or intuition might eventually find explanation in quantum terms. For example, one speculative idea is that our brains might use quantum processes. There are hypotheses that microtubules in neurons could host quantum states, and if so, maybe consciousness can access non-local, entangled information. This is very much on the fringe of science, but research is ongoing to see if quantum effects play a role in biology and the brain. Even if not proven, the theme of quantum theory, an interconnected, probabilistic world where the act of observation is key, provides a rich metaphor for spiritual discussion. It encourages us to think of consciousness as a fundamental part of the fabric of reality, not just an accidental byproduct of brain chemistry. Quantum leaps in personal growth. The phrase quantum leap itself comes from physics, describing an electron's sudden jump from one energy level to another without traversing the space in between. It's a tiny event on the atomic scale, yet the term has been adopted in spirituality and self-development to describe big, sudden transformations in consciousness. People speak of making a quantum leap in awareness, a rapid, profound shift in perspective that can happen in moments of insight or enlightenment. For instance, someone might have a quantum leap during meditation where they suddenly feel deeply at one with the universe, a permanent change from their prior outlook. These leaps echo the idea of spiritual awakening found in mystic traditions, where sometimes a person's understanding shifts dramatically, what Zen Buddhism might call satora, or sudden enlightenment. The quantum analogy emphasizes that such a change can be discontinuous. You don't necessarily progress in a slow, linear way. Sometimes you break through to a whole new state unexpectedly. It also implies that small internal changes can release a lot of energy. Just as one electron jumping emits a photon of light, one leap in personal growth can radiate out as newfound creativity or healing in one's life. Bridging the gap, it's important to note that while the parallels between quantum physics and spirituality are exciting, they are often speculative. Not all scientists agree that consciousness has anything to do with quantum physics. However, the dialogue between the two has been fruitful in opening minds. It has inspired books, conferences, and experiments examining consciousness in scientific ways. Some physicists, for example, have seriously asked whether the universe itself might be akin to a giant quantum computer, or if consciousness might be a fundamental property like space and time. On the flip side, spiritual practitioners have been motivated to describe mystical experiences in terms of energy and frequency, making the ideas more accessible to scientifically minded folks. The term quantum has almost become a metaphor for mysterious and profound. So when we hear about quantum healing or quantum consciousness, it may not involve actual subatomic particles. It often signals an approach that views mind, body, and universe as an interconnected energy system, where change in one area can instantaneously affect another. In that sense, the spirit of quantum theory, embracing uncertainty, unity, and the power of observation, encourages us to see our reality not as a rigid machine, but as a living, responsive field of possibilities. The human aura, a rainbow of energy around us. Many spiritual traditions claim that living beings, especially humans, are surrounded by an aura, a field of subtle, luminous energy. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt someone's presence before you saw or heard them? Or noticed how some individuals seem to glow with happiness or radiate intensity? These common expressions hint at the aura, often described as the energetic atmosphere a person carries. An aura isn't visible to most people, though some psychically sensitive individuals say they can see them as colors, but it's often felt. It's essentially the extension of one's life force beyond the physical body, forming an egg-shaped field that can interact with the environment and others. Conceptual illustration of a human aura radiating multiple colors. In many spiritual views, the aura is an energetic field around the body that can reflect a person's emotions, thoughts, and vitality. What is the aura made of? From a spiritual perspective, the aura is composed of different layers or frequencies of energy. Ancient Indian scriptures like the Vedas describe not just a physical body, but several subtle bodies sheathing the soul. These correspond to layers of the aura. Often, 7 layers are mentioned, each linked to one of the 7 chakras, energy centers in the body. For example, the first layer, the etheric body, is closest to the skin and is tied to physical health. The next layer relates to emotions, then one for thoughts, one for higher wisdom, and so on up to the spiritual layer. Each layer might have its own color and vibration, but they overlap seamlessly, forming the glow around a person. In modern terms, some might equate the aura to the electromagnetic field that the body naturally emits. Our bodies give off heat, electrical activity from nerves and heart, etc. Indeed, devices like Kirlian photography have captured coronal discharges around organisms, which some believe are images of the aura, though skeptics note it could be just moisture and electricity producing those outlines. Nonetheless, even if science sees the aura as metaphorical, the concept holds that our presence extends beyond our skin. We carry an energy that others can sense. Colors and meaning. Those who claim to see auras often report different colors in a person's field, and these colors are thought to reflect the person's current state physically, emotionally, and spiritually. For instance, a bright yellow aura might indicate a joyful, intellectually active state, whereas a muddy gray could suggest fatigue or sadness. Aura readers typically interpret colors as follows. Though systems vary, blue tends to relate to calm, caring, or spiritual devotion. Red can show strong will, passion, or anger. Green often relates to the heart, compassion, healing, or sometimes jealousy if darkened. Purple or violet is associated with higher spirituality or intuition. Orange might mean creativity and sociability. The aura isn't static. It can change with mood, health, or spiritual development. When someone is ill, healers say the aura may have dark patches or tears. When someone is meditating or praying deeply, their aura might expand and brighten. Even ordinary activities affect it. After exercise, you might have a vibrant aura from all the endorphins and blood flow. After a stressful day, your aura might be dimmer or closer to the body as you withdraw energetically. The idea is that by observing and cleansing the aura through practices like aura healing, smudging with sage, or visualization, one can improve overall well-being. An example aura color chart showing how different aura colors are often interpreted. For instance, red for energetic or strong-willed traits, green for nurturing, blue for intuitive or spiritual qualities, and violet for wise or independent tendencies. Auras across cultures. The belief in a personal energy field appears in many places. In Christian art, saints and holy figures are depicted with a halo or glowing light around their head, essentially an aura signifying their spiritual radiance. In Buddhist and Hindu art, enlightened beings are also shown with emanating light. The Chinese concept of qi includes not just inner energy, but energy projecting outward. Some Qigong masters claim to see or feel auras, and exercises often involve strengthening your protective aura, Wei Qi, to stay healthy. Indigenous shamans might not use the word aura, but they speak of power or spirit around a person. For example, some shamans can intuitively see if someone's life force is diminished or if they carry a negative energy attached to them, and they perform ceremonies to restore a bright energy field. Theosophy and Western esoteric schools in the 19th to 20th centuries made the aura a central concept, even attempting to categorize aura colors and correlate them with personality types or spiritual levels. Today, the aura is a staple of New Age philosophy. You can get an aura photography session at psychic fairs or read countless books on how to sense and cleanse your aura. Mind, body, and aura. One compelling aspect of the aura concept is how it links mental, emotional, and physical health. If you are stressed or depressed for a long time, spiritual healers would say that your aura's energy becomes stagnant or damaged, eventually leading to physical illness. Thus, health is not just about the body's organs, but about maintaining a vibrant energy field. Practices like Reiki, healing touch, or pranic healing aim to repair and recharge the aura. Even simple acts like positive thinking and loving interactions are said to brighten one's aura. On the flip side, we are advised in spiritual lore to be mindful of negative influences. Another person's bad mood or an environment of anger can dirty your aura if you're not protected, which is why rituals of spiritual protection, prayer, visualization of white light, wearing crystals are common. Essentially, these are meant to keep your aura strong and shielded. While conventional science might frame some of this as psychological effects or placebo, it's interesting that techniques for aura cleansing, such as deep breathing, bathing in salt water, or meditation, do correlate with reduced stress and improved mood. So caring for the aura may simply be another way of saying we should care for our mental and emotional hygiene, which in turn benefits our physical health. In summary, the aura represents the idea that we are beings of energy as much as flesh and blood. It invites us to view ourselves as radiant, connected to the environment, and capable of affecting others with our energy. Whether one literally sees colors or not, the metaphor of an aura encourages awareness of what we emanate in the world. Are we sending out love, peace, and vitality? Or are we surrounded by a cloud of tension that impacts those we meet? This awareness can be a powerful tool for personal growth and empathy, recognizing that we continuously participate in an unseen energy exchange with everyone and everything around us. Bridging two worlds of understanding. Exploring spiritual energies, from cosmic life force to human auras, reveals a rich tapestry of ideas that have fascinated humankind for ages. On one hand, there is the mystical worldview, a universe alive with energy and meaning, where our thoughts can touch others, the stars guide our journeys, and unseen forces can be consulted for wisdom. On the other hand, there is the scientific worldview, a universe governed by discoverable laws of energy, a vast space of fields and particles, where even the strangest phenomena invite rational exploration. Rather than contradicting each other, we find that these perspectives can inform and enrich one another. Science provides models and evidence that can validate the intuition that everything is connected, while spirituality provides context and purpose for why those connections matter to us personally. In daily life, you don't need advanced equipment to notice the play of energies. You can feel the warmth of sunlight, physical energy, and also the upliftment it brings to your mood, spiritual energy of joy. You can observe the cycle of the moon and perhaps reflect on how your own moods cycle with it. You might carry a lucky charm or pull an inspiring tarot card and feel your mindset shift, an example of how symbols and intention can channel energy in our psyche. And you can certainly sense the comfort of a loved one's presence or the uneasy feeling in a house of conflict, demonstrating that emotional energy is as real as any other force in our lives. The continued popularity of meditation, energy healing, astrology apps, and mind-body research shows that modern people seek a holistic understanding that neither denies the soul nor the atom. We are gradually realizing that to fully understand the universe and ourselves, we must address both outer observable phenomena and inner experience. The concept of spiritual energies invites us to see ourselves as participants in a larger cosmic ecosystem of energy. It encourages practices that cultivate positive energy, like mindfulness, to sharpen the mind's energy, compassion, to uplift heart energy, and ritual, to align with higher energies. Meanwhile, science, with its ever-deepening curiosity, continues to peel back the physical layers of reality, possibly inching closer to mysteries that spiritual traditions have long contemplated, such as the nature of consciousness. In bridging these two worlds, we foster not only knowledge but also wonder. It is humbling and thrilling to think that the life force coursing through our veins might be the same force swirling in galaxies, that a kind thought might ripple outward in ways we don't yet fully grasp, or that our very being radiates a light that others can feel. By keeping an open mind and heart, we allow wisdom from all sources, ancient sages and modern researchers alike, to guide us. Ultimately, the study of spiritual energies reminds us that life is more than meets the eye. We are woven into an energetic cosmos, and perhaps the greatest insight is that when we cultivate the energy of love, consciousness, and connection within us, we resonate with the heartbeat of the universe itself. In that resonance, one finds meaning, healing, and a sense of belonging in the grand scheme of things. We truly hope you found this episode helpful and enjoyed listening. Share this with your friends and family so they can begin their transformation too. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, give this video a thumbs up and we'll be in contact. If you're really interested in esotericism, then check out our courses and ebook. Thank you for watching. We wish you ocean of abundance, great health, huge wealth, and true love.